Marco Colbert Speedo Carry Finish Network. So we're moving along with Del Sol. As you guys can see, we got just about everything spot primed. Everything's looking pretty good. However, we have one more major thing to deal with, and that is this rust that is formed under the quarter panel right here. Now for this rust repair down here, I got a tool that I've never used, never had before. We got the Harbor Freight blast gun with the coupon. I got it for 15 bucks. So we're going to use this thing, see how it works out. The goal is to use this and clean up that rust as much as we can and see how much metal we got left. The good news is the pinch weld at the bottom there, the metal was still really solid there. It was mainly just that thin quarter panel sheet metal that was rotted out. Now, even more interesting and actually kind of funny thing about this video, my buddy Sean across the street at the dealership, he came over to look at the car. He's like, you got a little rust there. And he talked me into using this old dented up fender. He's like, you can just sand it out, grind it out, and cut some metal out of there and weld it in. This guy, I mean, he's got way more experience than me. So I was like, you know what? If that's what he's telling me to do, I'm going to try it. So basically, we're going to get a tape measure, take some measurements of that bottom quarter panel, and then we're going to go ahead, come right back to our fender, measure out some squares, cut them out with the angle grinder. Then after that, simply bend them to shape and weld it in. For our welding, we still are rocking the Titanium 125 Flux. Love this welder. Honestly, best flux welder I've ever used. And we still got the Bald Eagle welding helmet, because this is America, and that's how it's going to be in this garage. Anyways, you guys know the setup. Let's pull this thing outside. Let's get to blasting. Smart, guys, if you are going to go ahead and weld in some patch panels, to go ahead and coat all this rust and stuff behind with a good rust neutralizing coating. If you're like me and you restore cars, or you own a restoration shop and you don't already have this in your arsenal, you have to get it. This is without a doubt the best rust neutralizing paint on the market. It is tough as nails. The one part paint, all you do is pop the lid, dump it in your gun, one wet coat over this stuff, and let it sit for 24 hours, and you're good to go. So I wanted to do a little bit more of an extensive video on this, but this is pretty much where we left off on the quarter panels. So, you know, I mean, not a bad job. I mean, it still needs a little bit more body work. You know, obviously some primer filler. But these quarter panels are looking pretty good between the previous rust repair we did and then this stuff down here. It's not perfect. I'm not going for show quality. I really just wanted to get this car together for summertime and have something decent, you know, a decent, you know, older 90s Japanese sports car to ride around. So that's probably going to wrap it up for the Del Sol for now, guys. Stay patient. I got a lot more videos coming on this car. As you guys can see, the floors are looking a lot better. So next, we're going to obviously epoxy coat the floors after we self-level them back here. Put the spray booth back in the corner. And then my plan is the Del Sol is going to be the first car to go in there. I had to pull myself back a little bit and be like, you know what? Let's be patient. Let's get the back half of the shop done. We'll get the booth done, and then the Del Sol will be the first car we put in the booth. That way we got something nice and clean for summertime. Crazy, like, not to get off subject, but it's crazy how many people actually really admire like an older 90s Japanese sports car. And a lot of people, like, if I get pulled over, rarely, or like if I just run into random people, they'll be like, oh, what kind of car is that? Like, these things are so old and so rare and nobody sees them anymore. Nobody even knows like what kind of car it is. So that's why I just wanted to take the extra time, take my time with this, put the booth up, and we'll get this thing done and get it done right. But anyways, guys, as you guys can see, I got loads more work to do. Like, subscribe, new videos every week.